How's it going, everybody, and welcome to the Liberty Bowl. It is, of course, live stream Friday, and as we do every Friday, we come together here. We talk a little bit about the news, talk a bit about politics, culture, the fall of Western civilization as we know it, and we just kind of give you a bit of a recap of everything that's going on in news, politics, and what have you, all throughout the week. Um, going a little bit solo tonight. Unfortunately, Liberty Swine was caught up in some bad weather and traffic and whatnot, and either way, we'll be doing a short little show tonight. I mean, of course, it is very, very close to election time, so everything is pretty much all about the election right now. Of course, there's other things. UK protests erupt, and of course, they're erupting over. Um, of course, more immigrant slayings of innocent uh, native people there, uh, young girls, right? And of course, the government and the police are going after the so-called right-wing extremists that are protesting this mass immigration that isn't just in America; it's really the entire Western world, right? Um, so yeah, we'll be talking a little bit about that. We'll be mainly talking about, as I mentioned, everything going on with the election right now, man. We got Kamala Harris choosing Tim Walz as her running mate. Of course, he's the governor of Minnesota. He's been trending as Tampon Tim lately, of course, because he is known for being the governor that decided to put tampons in the men's restrooms, which were subsequently immediately torn out by the high school boys because, of course, what the fuck else are they going to do with them, right? We also got Kamala Harris is basically refusing to debate Donald Trump in more than one debate, which was basically, we've been talking about this for a little while. It's basically, they're going to do the September 10th debate. I believe it's on like NBC or MSNBC, something like that. One of those left wing rags. And it's, I guess, going to be on the same terms that was originally agreed upon when he was willing to go against Joe Biden, which of course he was going to be doing with, the kid gloves on and, one hand tied behind his back, because that's how you make it fair, especially when you're going up against a senile old man with a bad memory. All right. Of course, Donald Trump is trying to get 3 debates. We'll be talking about that a little bit later. He did a presser, was it like 2 days ago, something like that. And he basically just went out there in Mar-a-Lago for a little over an hour and basically just answered just about any single question that the press had to ask him. Of course, there's tons of people there. I'm sure he probably didn't get to every last person there, but he did spend a good hour just answering questions off script, no notepad, none of that stuff, no circle back, no I don't have anything for that. He just, every single thing they had to say, he answered, and we had got some great clips from that, so we'll be going over some of those as well. We also got the Google monopoly, the GARM, or the I guess ads, the ad monopoly that's been going on with the GARM company as well as some other parent companies. We also got oh yeah, sorry. So that actually Elon Musk has been suing them over this last week, seeing as they've basically tried to label them as right-wing extremism, stuff like that, and basically try and pull advertisers away from trying to advertise on platforms like X, as well as Rumble, as we're going to be talking about here in just a second too, as well as Rumble. Rumble is also essentially jumping in on the lawsuit, and I don't know, from what I've read, I guess GARM has basically closed up shop, or basically I don't know, I guess they shut down the next day, something like that. So I don't know, a whole lot of weird stuff going on there. Of course, we do know it is election season, so that's the type of stuff that they're bound to be doing, trying to demonetize certain content creators, trying to sway the information narratives and stuff like that, trying to remove stuff that they deem to be mis and disinformation. Um, yeah, it's full on election season, and we do have a couple of more conservative, or at least just free speech platforms now, with X and Rumble. Of course, X, of course, being owned by Elon Musk now, formerly Twitter. Of course, the 2020 election, Twitter was a bastion of censorship, which was really one of the big reasons that Joe Biden was able to win in the first place. So, of course, that's not so much the case now, but they are trying to do whatever they can to, I guess, kind of beat them into submission in order to, I guess, push the narrative, the, of course, left-wing bias narrative that they're trying to get across. That was a good dab. But yeah, and then we'll be talking briefly for a second about what is it? Amain Khalif, the Algerian dude who won the women's gold medal at the Olympics for women's boxing, of course, because anything that women can do, men could do dressed up in drag much better, obviously, because science, right? But anyway, that's about all we got for today. So we're gonna be we're go ahead and get started with it. Let's go ahead and I don't know, just we'll cruise X for a little bit. We'll talk about the election, stuff like that. We'll check out some of the videos from Trump's presser. Talk about old Tim Waltz, fucking tampon Tim. Talk about Kamala Harris, all that type of stuff. We'll have some fun on X for a little while, and then we will talk about Google, whatnot. Not Google. I don't know. I can't. I'm not. Maybe Google's involved. I keep saying Google, but I mean, that seems to be their milieu. So either way, let's go. Check this out. Oh, just real quick, I do also want to say that I didn't really have too much prepared in terms of X, because it's just like 20 minutes before I went online, everything was looking like this. I don't know if you can really see that too much, but yep, it's not going to focus. But everything was just looking completely ridiculous, and everything's dated December 31st of 1969. I couldn't get anything to refresh. Yeah, nothing was working. I'm not sure. Maybe it'll refresh now. Nope, still not working on my phone. Maybe just the page that I happen to have loaded up right now on X will just work, or maybe not. I don't know. It did seem as though the website was crashing just before the show started. So I don't know. It may be a real fucking short show. Maybe we'll just talk a little bit about the news and get it done with. But either way, I guess we'll check out some of the stuff about old tampon Timmy. All right. So, of course, Kamala Harris went ahead and chose tampon Tim Waltz from Minnesota. And just go ahead and check out some of these videos. Of course, this one, I believe, is a former ad campaign from his political opponent, where they basically just kind of, fillet him. But ultimately, I mean, of course, just being a Democrat in general, this dude's a shitbag. But this dude really is a royal shitbag. He's a far leftist, a very, very far leftist. He's being accused of stolen valor. There's been, even articles from military.com saying that, he never served. And as a matter of fact, he bounced out just as soon as they found out that his battalion was going to be deployed. He went ahead and bounced out from the Army National Guard, I believe it was. Right. He also apparently lied about his rank, stuff like that, all kinds of stuff. But let's go ahead and just, peruse the old X and check out what they got on old Timmy Waltz. Tampon Tim, they call him. Tampon Tim, they used to call him.
Clear, over 80% of our students miss less than 10 days of in-class learning.
I won't forget when you illegally banned physicians from prescribing medications for early treatment, fracturing the doctor-patient relationship.
I will never forget being forced out of my job at the VA of 20 years because of the vaccine mandates.
I won't forget when you decided which businesses were essential and which ones weren't.
You shut down stores, malls, zoos, everything, and we couldn't even go outside.
I'll remember when you sent COVID positive patients back to the nursing homes and you chose not to send them to the Bethesda COVID hospital. People died alone.
I won't forget to vote in November.
I will never forget how you closed our churches but left the liquor stores open.
I will remember how you promised us data on masks, and you never showed the data.
My child can't wear a mask, and I had to pull him from school.
And I remember how you divided us.
People rioted, burnt our cities, and we were not allowed to gather with our families.
I will remember in November.
We won't forget in November.
I will never forget how you abandoned the most vulnerable Minnesotans by shutting down day programs for disabled adults.
I remember when you blamed Minnesotans when your mitigation strategies failed.
I will
That's a
remember in
Midwestern
November.
accent.
You put a limit on people who could come over to your house for Thanksgiving. I will never wear a mask again.
I will never forget what you did to me and my friends. I will never wear a mask again.
Governor Walz, we are not your one Minnesota. We are real Minnesotans who are worried about our future. And we will remember in November.
Okay, so I guess this was a more recent. Actually, I'm gonna, my mistake. But either way, they there's great fucking ad campaign for the Trump administration, of course. But yeah, of course he did all that. He did all that, and then of course that's what a lot of these Democrat governors did during the COVID lockdown. Of course, they had a chance to implement emergency measures, and of course, as a Democrat does, they you give them an inch, they take a mile, and then there's no getting that mile back. Basically, that's they're a new norm, because as we know, Democrats, they just kind of lick their fingers, see which way the wind's blowing, see which way the power is blowing, and I'm going that way, right? So yeah, in terms of like him promising he promised statistics and this and that type of stuff, we're not going to get any of that. We ain't getting any of that from anybody, and it's not like a Democrat Republican thing. It's a power thing. That's an establishment thing. That's who controls the money. That's who controls the donations. That's the donors. We're not going to be able to find out all of that information, or roughly any of it, until at least 50, 70 years, something like that. I believe that the ingredients for the vaccines are sealed for like 75 years, something like that. So it's going to be far and off into the future until anybody is ever able to find out what these people actually did to us. Well, to everybody else, I didn't take that fucking jab, but what they actually did to the public during this pandemic, which they as we are now aware, orchestrated. They created in the lab, they paid for, they funded with your own tax dollars, and then they went and jabbed everybody up and injected everybody, and they're trying to jab up your kids, and they're trying to make sure that they could jab children under 5 years old. They're jabbing pregnant women, they're jabbing old people, they're jabbing every person that they could, right? And we're not going to be able to know what the hell was in that, and maybe our grandkids will know. Something like that, right? It's going to be like the JFK assassination, right? So we now know that was orchestrated by the CIA, FBI, all those deep state intelligence communities, and of course, everybody that could have been involved, could have been prosecuted, anything like that is long dead. It doesn't matter at this point. Now it's just, oh well, we know, and that's how this is going to end up going with COVID too, right? It's going to be years, it's going to be decades until anybody is able to find out anything that went on. So I mean, that's kind of a tangent to the whole Tim Walz thing, but either way,
Clear.
yeah. So let's see. I don't care if you see JV the Great says, I don't care if you don't like Trump, go in that poll booth and hold your nose and vote for him. This shit has to stop. America cannot fall to the pedophiles and illegal immigrants. Under Kamala and Walz, they will gift wrap it for them and hand it right over. Yeah, so let's see, is this a video? All right. So I don't know if that was Tim Walz, but that was definitely a pride parade, and that was definitely a grown man getting his Gigi Allen impression on. Right there in the middle of fuck, what was it, Minnesota, wherever the fuck city that was. But yeah, that was right there, right in Tim Walz's town. Right there in front of kids. We've been preaching about it on this channel for years now. Actually, that was actually how this channel really kind of started, was with the whole drag the kids to pride thing that they did in Texas a few years ago, where they had kids putting dollars in G strings of trannies and stuff like that. But yeah, this stuff has to stop. And of course he's as we could see, he's there. He commissioned this. He's proud of the disgust and pride that permeates the streets of his city, right? And he wants to make that the entire United States of America. Let's keep in mind, of course, Kamala Harris, she comes from California, where she was a district attorney. Of course, you got in her position by whatever, but either way, she's again from the same sort of a debaucherous shithole sort of states where these types of things happen. So I mean, if this is what you want in America, go ahead and vote for Kamala or whatever, or even go ahead and throw your vote away on some sort of third party idiot like fucking RFK Jr. or what's his fucking name, Oliver, some fucking dipshit or another super fucking commie supposed libertarian candidate. Which again, I lost just about all respect for the Libertarian Party, even for the most part, even somewhat for the libertarian mindset during that, with that nomination in general. Like I said, it's one thing. You don't have to offer Trump the nomination. You don't have to endorse Donald Trump, anything like that. Understandable. Nobody actually really thought you did. It was really just kind of Donald Trump doing what he always does, and just showing that he has the nuts to go out there and talk, go out and preach in the middle of a den full of people that oppose just about everything that he has to say. But nevertheless, he's going to go out and say that because that's the truth from his inner being, from his gut. That's what the whole reason. So nobody actually expected them to give Donald Trump their endorsement, anything like that. But for them to basically go around and turn pull a stunt like nominating this fucking, like I said, dude's a straight commie. Dude's a straight trans fucking pride commie fucking weirdo. He's straight, pretty much leftist with the libertarian label next to him, right? So yeah, really lost a lot of respect for them at that point. But of course, if this is what you want, go ahead and throw your vote away. Vote for literally any candidate other than the only person that is capable of rescuing this country, at least attempting to do what he can to rescue this country. And that is one Donald J. Trump, of course. All right, let's go ahead and scroll to
over 80% of our students miss less than 10 days of in-class learning.
We just saw that one already. Saw that one. Let's see what this is. So Waltz is panicking. His attacks on Trump aren't landing. He cannot escape his stolen valor. Right? Hopefully we'll come across that in a little bit too. Tampon Tim and his stolen valor.
This guy doesn't know the first thing about unity or service. He's too busy serving himself. This guy doesn't know the first thing about.
All right, so let's see. So, of course, Jack Posobiec, the great Jack Posobiec, says, under the Stolen Valor Act, someone who embellishes their rank in order to obtain tangible benefits under fraud is liable. Tangible benefits like a taxpayer's salary from the U.S. government and a state governorship. See, so let's see. Stolen Valor Act of 2013, a revised version of the statute. The Stolen Valor Act of 2013 specifically amends the federal criminal code to make a crime for someone to claim they have served in the military, embellished their rank, or fraudulent claim having received a valor award specific in the act with the intention of obtaining money, property, or other tangible benefits by convincing another that he or she received the award. Under this act, fraudulent claims about military service can be subject to a fine, imprisonment for not more than 1 year, or both for an individual who, with intent to obtain money, property, or other tangible benefits, fraudulently holds himself or herself to be a recipient of said thing. Right? So let's see what this one is. So Sassafras _84 says, keep reminding everybody every day that this was Governor Tampon Timmy's state. Kamala bailed out rioters, spread awareness up until the day at the polls. We do not want America burned to the ground. A vote for camel toes is a vote for communism. Preach. Facts.
Harris sending this out on X. If you're able to chip in now to the Minnesota Freedom Fund to help post bail for those protesting on the ground in Minnesota. Thanks.
Right. Let's keep that in mind, man. She did bail out a lot of these protesters, which we'll remember whenever we talk about the UK protesters in a little bit. But yeah, she did. As we know, the overwhelming majority of political violence, of property damage, of rioting and stuff over the past decade has been from the left. The only thing that they have that they could kind of attempt to hold against us is January 6th. And as we have since found out, that was really all orchestrated by, again, their corruption. Basically, they ordered police officers to antagonize the crowd, just start spraying pepper spray, throwing tear gas, throwing the stinger ball, stuff like that into the audience or into the crowd. And of course they did as you would expect, right? They got agitated. You poke the beehive, of course eventually the bees are going to start stinging, right? But yeah, so that's really the only thing that they're able to even hold against conservatives, because of course conservatives, it's not like they ever have time to actually get together and fucking get anything done, which is why we're in the boat that we're in right now. But either way, it's back to Timmy.
Harris's promotion, the group reportedly raised $35 million in just a few weeks.
Darnica Floyd, charged with second-degree murder for stabbing a friend to death. And she got out of jail, too. A twice-convicted rapist, currently charged with kidnapping and sexual assault, and he walks out, too.
The Freedom Fund raked in donations when it was promoted by many, including now Vice President Kamala Harris.
Sean Michael Tillman shot and killed a passenger on a train platform after reportedly being released from jail 3 weeks prior. All thanks to the Minnesota Freedom Fund.
Donovan Boone was charged with breaking into the home of an ex-girlfriend and choking her. Freedom Fund bailed him out for $3,000 cash, and he hasn't shown up for court since.
I often don't even look at a charge specifics when I bail someone out.
The Hennepin County Attorney called out the Minnesota Freedom Fund for bailing Mosley out of jail twice previously, even though he was arrested for having a gun in the courthouse.
The Minnesota Freedom Fund, which pays cash bail for low-income criminals, paid Tims's entire $10,000 bail in cash. 11 days later, police found a man bleeding from the head and ears in this alley. Police were able to arrest Tims in connection to this violent assault.
Howard was arrested and charged with second-degree murder. The Minnesota Freedom Fund acknowledged supporting Howard's bail.
Yeah, Trump Vance 2024. Let's see. We got a couple ones real quick. We'll just do maybe like one or two more of this, and then we'll go ahead and move on. Like I said, I'm not trying to make it too long tonight. Probably go about an hour or so. But let's see. Joey Manarino, US. This is the clip that will sink Tim Walz. Here's Nancy Pelosi thanking him for his service on the battlefield and discussing how he had to leave his students to go serve. We now know none of this is true, and Tim Walz was stationed in Italy, not in Afghanistan. We also see Tim come to the podium and thank Pelosi for her words and do nothing to correct the record. This video clip needs to be shared far and wide. This is textbook stolen valor.
Well, Command Sergeant Major, and now we'll hear from Congressman, Command Sergeant Major Tim Walz, and I was so moved.
So you see how they all laugh about it? It's because they know it's not fucking true. That's their whole fucking thing. That all these people are corrupt. Like all of these people, all these people, for decades have been corrupt. And, ever since they dropped the bomb and, we got that big dick power that fucking, you fuck with America, we're going to blow your entire fucking, city up. Right. Ever since then, it's where we're not the country that we were anymore. Right. We are an empire at this point. And the people act that way. And they are all part of it together. It's, as we see, anybody that tries to go against the system in any way is going to be punished severely, as they have done with Donald Trump, as we've seen them do with other people in the past. And, currently, basically people that are, siding with Donald Trump, they're even going after them. It's an evil cabal of corruption, right? And it has been for decades. And, basically, it's something that has been bound to fail for so long. And basically Donald Trump is just been the spark that ignited the powder keg that has been this corrupt government. And so that's why they all laugh about it. They're all in on this shit together. They all have their secret Bohemian Grove meetings where they dip their nuts in cocaine and rub it all over each other and stuff like that. And fucking worship demons, all that kind of crazy shit. You've seen the fucking Alex Jones clips, right? But anyway, it's all just a big fucking evil cabal. And that's why all these people just sit there and laugh like fucking, I don't even know, fucking demonic hyenas or some shit. But these people are all fucking evil.
By some of what Tim has said in this, he said he taught these young people in high school, and then he had to lead them in the armed services. So he knows the potential of our young people and what we put at risk when we send them into harm's way without the equipment that they need. He will speak for himself, but I want him to know how much we all appreciate his service to our country, whether it's in the classroom or on the battlefield. Congressman Tim Murphy. Congressman Tim Walz of Minnesota. I was thinking of his state.
That's what happens when you're roommates.
That's what happens when you're fucking old and drink all goddamn day, and fucking your husband gets arrested for DUIs and shit like that.
Might start looking alike. Well, thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you to the leadership here. Thank you to my brother in arms.
And now we'll hear from Congress.
All right. Dude's a fucking lying piece of shit. Of course, yeah, I'm not going to be one of those like, oh, stolen valor. I ain't fucking serve shit. Fuck that. I ain't trying to do none of that shit. I'll go fucking, I'll fight people that are trying to invade my country. If it comes down to that, I'll join up with the militia if, foreign, invaders threaten our borders. But, I ain't fucking going abroad to go ahead and fight for the value of the American dollar and all that stuff. Whatever. To no offense, anything like that. I mean nothing like that to anybody that may have done so with their lives. I'm sure everyone, left a piece of themselves behind. Of course, it's not an easy job. It's not an easy thing to be tasked with. So of course, I'm not in any way trying to shine any shade on that at all. But yeah, fuck that. The things that our government does with our military is disgusting. The things that our government does with our military contracts, with our military weapons and stuff like that is disgusting. The things that our government just does on a daily basis is absolutely disgusting. And I would never serve this version of our government. Maybe like the founding fathers, stuff like that. Like I said, pre-World War II, stuff like that. Your great grandparents and stuff that went and fought in World War II and stuff like that. Yeah, those people, they were fighting for the betterment of mankind, right? Not so much anything else since then. So yeah, it's definitely not my thing. But yeah, either way, this guy to run on stolen valor, of course, in a nation full of people that really much are those blah, 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 stolen valor, those type people. Absolutely fucking stupid, idiotic, absolutely idiotic. And of course, you're trying to run essentially as a communist. Of course, communist parties are banned in America. You're not allowed to run, as an open communist. But ultimately, these people are open communists. And when you see their policies, when you look at all the type of stuff that they're trying to implement, when you think of their philosophies and stuff like that, they are communists. I mean, they're members of they're openly members of the Democratic Socialists of America, stuff like that. These people are, straight up communists. Just they relabel it because that's what commies do. They just fucking lie about every damn thing, so that way they can create confusion. And then so that way, the only way that you can discern the truth is by, of course, listening to Mother Government. But all right, so we'll go ahead and move on from old Tampon Timmy. And real quick, let's talk about the Trump professor or Trump press conference. All right. So, of course, Trump went ahead and gave a presser from the Mar-a-Lago. And then, like I said earlier, it was over an hour long. He answered, all the questions that people asked him. No notepad, no circling back around. No, oh, I don't have that in my notes. No, they didn't give me anything to say, for that. Everything he said, he just spoke from top of his head, spoke from the heart, said the truth. All right. So we got a whole bunch of clips here. We got a whole bunch of CNN copium, of course. Of course, they're going to try and, you have one side of the Democrats saying like, oh, Trump is finished. Trump was panicking at that presser and stuff like that. Yada, yada, yada. They had him up against the ropes all day and stuff like that. Trump is done. And then on the other hand, you got CNN over here, panicking and whatnot. They got people trying to say, oh, it's 2016 all over again. We got people, like Democrat donors and stuff like that, Democrat strategists and stuff, basically over here trying to scold the news companies, the people that are basically hosting the presidential debate and stuff like that, trying to scold them for giving Donald Trump any sort of on-air time in the first place. Like these people are straight up communists. These people, they're the only way that they're able to actually win anything is by silencing their opponents, and imprisoning their opponents, stuff like that. These people are straight up communists. They twist the truth. They twist reality. They know what they're saying is lies. Yet they still continue to go about it. And of course, they'll say the same thing about us. But nevertheless, none of them can ever go off script. Kamala does her entire it's the thing that they do with shitty candidates on the Democrat side is they basically just have them campaign from the basement. They do the whole like, oh, I'm not going to try and give them a platform to be able to spew their lies and shit like that, right? But then again, they will never actually refute their lies. They're so-called lies. Right. Meanwhile, you ask any conservative to refute any sort of Democrat talking point, and you can't get us to shut the fuck up. Right. So I mean, there's the real contrast, trying to discern who's actually telling the truth and who's actually full shit. But let's go ahead and check out this first one real quick. Just first one that popped up. CNN is liberal propaganda. CNN is asking, why isn't Trump campaigning? Where were they when the Biden refused to leave his basement in 2020? Why aren't they calling for Kamala to do a real press conference? CNN is trash, right? Yeah. Where's fucking Kamala Harris's big boy press conference, right? We all remember how they did that with Joe Biden, and of course Joe Biden flunked it because of course Joe Biden is a senile old man with dementia.
Former President Trump, why isn't he out there campaigning?
Well, the former president is here in Palm Beach at his Mar-a-Lago resort. Why he's not campaigning, we have obviously asked the campaign when he will be out on the road again. But obviously, this is a split screen here, as you see Harris and Walz pounding the pavement in these battleground states, and Vance really alone out there while Trump has been in Florida. Now,
where is former President?
Right. Let's also keep in mind that they're asking, oh, where is he campaigning? As he's talking to an entire room full of so-called journalists, right? So yeah, these people are just absolute fucking clowns, completely ridiculous. All right, so let's see. Drew Hernandez says, what a stupid question. Well, quote Donald Trump, what a stupid question. President Trump obliterates a hack fake news reporter and Kamala Harris at his press conference in Mar-a-Lago. This is the 2016 campaign Trump energy we need. Keep it going, right? Absolutely. Let's go ahead and check this out real quick.
What a stupid question this is. Because I'm leading by a lot, and because I'm letting their
Right. So if you didn't, really hear that on audio, she basically asked the same question that the CNN panelists were asking, basically, oh, why aren't you out there campaigning? Why don't you seem to have as much enthusiasm as it seems to have on the left side or on the Democrat side, where they're out there, going all over the country trying to campaign and stuff right now. And of course, his response.
convention go through, and I am campaigning a lot. I'm doing tremendous amounts of taping here. We have commercials that are at a level I don't think that anybody's ever done before. Plus, in certain cases, I see many of you in the room where I'm speaking to you on phones, I'm speaking to radio, I'm speaking to television. Television's coming over here. Excuse me, what are we doing right now? She's not doing any news conference. You know why she's not doing it? Because she can't do a news conference. She doesn't know how to do a news conference. She's not smart enough to do a news conference.
Fucking
and I'm
stupid.
sorry, we need smart people to lead this country because our country's never been in this danger before, both economically and from an outside perspective. Russia doesn't respect us anymore. China doesn't respect us anymore. North Korea, Kim Jong-un liked me a lot. He doesn't like this group. We are in great danger. We're in great danger of being in World War III. That could happen. No, after their convention, yeah. And I'm going out. Actually, I'm going out to certain places to help certain senators get elected. Not even for me. I'm trying to help when I go out to Wyoming or when I go out to Montana, or I'm going to different places to help people. And I don't have to go there because I'm leading those states, as you know, by 35, 40, 50 points. I'm leading by record numbers. I'm going because I want to help senators and congressmen get elected. Congressmen and women get elected. Yes, please.
Right. Absolutely fucking obliterates them, right? As of course, Trump's known for doing that. So that's kind of his thing. But we got a comment here from Dabu Grover. Of course, you've been watching the show for quite some time. We appreciate you here. He says, to play devil's advocate, Tim Walz signed a bill legalizing recreational marijuana in Minnesota in May 2023. Pro-weed. Yes, of course. We are very pro-weed on this channel. And of course, we are very, very pro, weed legislation. Of course, I don't know Minnesota's weed laws. So, of course, we'd have to see how legal it is, whether or not, people are able to grow, how much you're able to grow and stuff like that. I don't necessarily know. And of course, weed is great. Weed is fine. Weed is good. It's ultimately you're still smoking weed before it was legal though, weren't you? I know I was. It's always been kind of just again, just one of those government control things. And in terms of, government control things, I don't know, weed has always kind of been, I guess, somewhat low on the list. I've never really been too worried about, weed ever being legalized, anything like that. I guess, I'll take that back. I really kind of have, the majority of my young life, but of course that's just because that was my young life. That was when I was, worried about, partying and stuff like that. I didn't pay attention to politics, anything like that. But, basically now that I've, grown up a little bit, pay a little bit more attention. Like I said, as long as you're not out there fucking partying up or fucking running pounds and shit like that, it doesn't matter whether or not weed is fucking legal. I mean, you can grow a couple little plants in your backyard, shit, get you a yard, get you some privacy, stuff like that. You could grow you a whole field, I mean, weed has always been here, whether it's been illegal or not. It's always been just kind of an accepted thing in society. But either way, I mean, that's cool that he signed the bill to legalize weed, but ultimately, I mean, it was the legislature. But either way, I don't know. In my opinion, it seems like kind of like an obvious trap to me. It's like oh, vote for the Democrat, get the piece of cheese. Meanwhile, you're avoiding the trap, the obvious construction all around you, in order for that one little slice of cheese that is ultimately meaningless and is really just going to end up sinking you in the end. It's like, okay, you got some weed, but you yeah, you're fucked with everything else. You got some weed, but they're gonna transgender your kids, and they're gonna fucking, take all your goddamn money, and they're gonna give it to illegal immigrants, and they're gonna take, housing for veterans and stuff like that, and they're gonna give it to illegal immigrants. They're gonna take all your tax dollars and say that they're going to use it to feed the homeless and house the homeless and shit like that. Meanwhile, you're gonna walk outside and you're still gonna trip over 10 fucking homeless people walking down the street, but the taxes are still going to remain. So I mean, how much is weed really worth, But yeah, I get what you mean though, just playing devil's advocate and stuff. See, he also says I'm on probation right now and got to do random pee tests, so he can't smoke, even though it's legal. I mean, if it's legal there and they're still making you piss test for weed, that's not really cool. But I guess, yeah, I suppose that they can make you piss test for alcohol as well too. So you're supposed to stay away from all that type of stuff, whether it's illegal or not, unless of course you have a medical card. Then I think if you have a medical card, usually they can't make you piss for probation, anything like that. But yeah, just for recreational though, I think they still can. But either way, let's get back to this press conference real quick. See, so Justin whistleblower comes forward exposing the Harris campaign of alleged astroturfing campaign. They're trying to pay social media influencers. Yeah, that was another thing that came out as well too. I don't know. I didn't read too into it because again, I don't really follow too many social media influencers and stuff like that. I follow a lot of political influencers, a lot of political commentators and stuff, but general pop culture influence and stuff like that, I don't pay too much attention. So I wasn't paying too much attention to that. But let's see, Trump, if you can't do a press conference, you can't be president.
If you can't do a press conference, you cannot be president. Okay, that's it. She doesn't do anything. If you,
Right, I think it's so funny that they're trying to fucking say that he's not campaigning. Like are you kidding me? The dude has campaigned more. The dude has campaigned this month more than the entire Biden administration did for the 2020 election. Like the dude is nonstop out there giving press conferences, still out there doing campaigns outside and stuff like that. Even though he just got shot in the ear, literally millimeters away from death. He's still out there. Yeah, he don't give a fuck. For these people to try and say that, oh, what you doing? And even Kamala trying to say that, oh, he's afraid to debate me. If you have something to say it to my face. Because she's weird. She does weird, inappropriate laughs. But yeah, for them to try and say that, Donald Trump is a coward or he's afraid of, Kamala Harris of all fucking people is absolutely ridiculous. And I don't think anybody other than the brainwashed Democrat cultists are falling for that at all.
can't do a press conference, you cannot be president. Okay.
All right, we'll leave it there. Let's see. Watching Trump's press conference at Mar-a-Lago must have gone great. So liberals are calling it a Trump meltdown. But since they're always on the wrong side of everything, MAGA country can once again stand proud. By the way, where's Kamala's pressers? All right, exactly. That's the other one this is. If it's one we heard, we'll just go ahead and skip it. But
Mr. President, you have not had a public campaign event for nearly a week now. Tomorrow you'll be in Montezuma's side. Why haven't you been campaigning this week?
Because I'm leading by a lot and because I'm letting their...
Right. Yeah, we heard that one already. See, Trump gets press conference at his home. Okay, this is the whole thing. We ain't gonna watch that one. Apparently, Dan Bongino did a full stream of the press conference on his radio show. Let's see, Tex-Mex Trumpian. The fake news is in meltdown mode because President Trump states the facts that Kamala Harris is not smart enough at his Mar-a-Lago press conference. Why is not Trump's fault? Let's see.
On the other side, why haven't you been campaigning this week?
Because I'm leading.
Yeah, so a lot of the same ones. But anyway, go ahead and move on from that one real quick. Possibly if I can. We might be stuck on that, but either way, I got some I have some of them on my page already, so we're good. Let's see. Real American Voice. Biden didn't want to leave, and they picked the first loser president. Trump keeps it real and reminds us it may just be unconstitutional.
We have a constitution. It's a very important document, and we live by it. She has no votes, and I'm very happy to run against her. I'm not complaining from that standpoint. And I hate to be defending him, but he did not want to leave. He wanted to see if he could win. They said, you're not going to win after the debate. They said, you're not going to win. You can't win. You're out. And at first they said it nicely, and he wasn't leaving. And then you know it better than anybody. Wait a minute. So when you think about it, they said at first they were going to go out to another vote. They were going to go through a primary system, a quick primary system, which it would have to be. And then it all disappeared, and they just picked a person that was the first out. She was the first loser. Okay, so we call her the first loser. She was the first loser when during the primary system, during the Democrat primary system, she was the first one to quit, and she quit. She had no votes, no support, and she was a bad debater, by the way, very bad debater. And that's not the thing I'm looking forward to, but she was a bad debater. She did obviously a bad job. She never made it to Iowa. Then for some reason, and I know he regrets it, you do too, he picked her, and she turned on him too. She was working with the people that wanted him out. But the fact that you can get no votes, lose in the primary system, in other words, you had 14 or 15 people, she was the first one out, and that you can then be picked to run for president, it seems to me actually unconstitutional. Perhaps it's not.
Yeah, it seems very unconstitutional. That is something that we actually talked about last week on the show. This is so-called democracy, right? This is how they save democracy, is by basically, like I say, silencing their political opponents, avoiding the press, avoiding the public, and basically you don't actually get to vote for who the nominee is. Don't worry, we'll tell you who to vote for. Right? You're going to vote for the candidate that's not Donald Trump. That's the only thing that you need to worry about voting for, because that's how we're going to save democracy, right? That's how we're going to save the people's right to vote and choose who's their representatives, is by we'll tell you who you're allowed to vote for and who you're not allowed to vote for, and who we deem you're not allowed to vote for. If you choose to vote for them, well, we'll go ahead and dedicate you or designate you as a domestic terrorist, and we'll just put you on some sort of watch list, right? Yeah, that sounds ridiculous, but no, that's what we are living through in America right now. But this was Donald Trump's answer on abortion, and of course, my opinion, abortion is absolutely abhorrent. I wish people didn't have to get abortions. I wish people didn't choose to get abortions. I wish people could raise kids and live happy lives and whatnot. But Donald Trump basically gives the pragmatic, most I guess the best political pragmatic response that really kind of fits everybody. Right? Let's go ahead and check it out real quick.
Look, for 52 years they wanted to bring abortion back to the states. They wanted to get rid of Roe v. Wade, and that's Democrats, Republicans, and independents, and everybody, liberal, conservatives, everybody wanted it back in the states, and I did that. Now the states are voting, and frankly, some of the votes are much more, if you could say, liberal than you would think. Ohio turned out to be, they had a big vote, and it turned out to be a much more liberal standing than people would have thought. Kansas, the same thing, and then you have Texas, and you have other places where it may be different. But the issue has been brought back to the states now. And like Ronald Reagan, I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother. I believe strongly. I think that that's a very important thing. I think when you have to follow your heart. But when you don't believe in the exceptions, I think.
Oh, sorry about that. My mouse froze for a second.
Issue has been brought back to the states now, and like Ronald Reagan, I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother. I believe strongly. I think that that's a very important thing. I think when you have to follow your heart, but when you don't believe in the exceptions, I think it's much tougher. It's a much tougher issue. Look, for 52 years.
Yep. But yeah, it's just his stance on abortion. Basically, like I said, throw it back to the states. Let the individual localities choose what they would like to do with the people. Let the Bible Belt people go ahead and ban it from their area. Let the people from California and the western coast go ahead and make it up to 9 months and above. Of course, absolutely. The majority of people would say that's absolutely disgusting. But as we see time and time again, there's multiple people. Democrat after Democrat, being sworn in through the Senate and stuff like that, being asked about, their stance on abortion up to 9 months in, including birth. And, most of them, they refuse to answer the question. They kind of walk around it. Right. But let's see. So listening to Trump presser, this is a very smart move. Kamala's been, quote, he's scared to debate me. Now Trump throws out 3 dates and said it's been agreed to. If she refuses to do one, Kamala now looks like the one backing out. Right. So yeah, let's go ahead and check out this one real quick. And then I believe we have the Kamala, pretty much her response to a reporter asking if she's willing to do all 3 debates with Donald Trump that he's challenged her to right here. Let's check it out.
And we've agreed with Fox on a date of September 4th. We've agreed with NBC, fairly full agreement, subject to them, on September 10th.
Right, so that's Fox on the 4th and NBC on the 10th, right? So apparently she's not going to do the one with Fox on the 4th. She's only going to do the one on the 10th. And that one is, of course, the one that was agreed to with the Joe Biden rules, right? With the kid gloves and training wheels on.
And we've agreed with ABC on September 25th. So we have those 3 dates, and those networks, they're very anxiously awaiting that date and those dates. So we have September 4th, September 10th, and September 25th. We have spoken to the heads of the network, and it's all been confirmed. And we've.
Yep. So real quick, let me just go ahead and jump ahead. I believe I have. Yeah, this one's great. We'll just go ahead and watch this once or twice. Right. So basement campaigns and refusing debates has been the go-to Democrat strategy for weak candidates since Trump hit the scene, because scripted interviews, muzzling your opponent, and hiding from the public is how you, quote, save democracy. All right, so Kamala Harris is refusing to debate in 2 presidential debates scheduled by Trump. Right, so listen to what the press, reporter asks her, and then watch her response, and then watch her swiftly walk away when the reporter doubles up on the same question.
Madam Vice President, Donald Trump agreed to 3 debates. Will you be participating in all 3?
I've always been on record. I am looking forward to debating Donald Trump. If we have a date of September 10th, I hear he's finally committed to it. I'm looking forward.
What about the other 2?
Let's make sure we get this photo of everyone. Look right here.
Right. So she does the whole Democrat non-answer, like, oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to debating Donald Trump. So basically you ask her, like, oh, Donald Trump said that he's willing to debate you on 3 debates. And, she's like, oh, I'm looking forward to it. I'm debating him on September 10th. And then she just walks away as he's trying to ask her, if she's willing to debate, for the other 2. She basically just kind of snubs him off because, of course, she's not. She doesn't want to. She's afraid. She's outright afraid of being in the same room and speaking with Donald Trump because she knows that she's going to get absolutely obliterated because she's a fucking idiot. I mean, it's Kamala Harris, dude. She's a fucking dumbass. She's fucking dumb as fuck. So, of course, she's going to get absolutely obliterated. And she knows it, right? But real quick, let's get back to some more President Donald J. Trump real quick. So President Trump wants to lead us into dignity and strength, unlike the current administration, Bidenomics. Watch live coverage here, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's check this out real quick.
If I were president, you wouldn't have Russia and Ukraine, where it never happened. 0 chance. You wouldn't have had October 7th of Israel. You wouldn't have the horrible withdrawal. And I don't mean the withdrawal, because the withdrawal was fine. I was ready to withdraw from Afghanistan, and we were going to do it with dignity and strength. And we were keeping our equipment. We weren't leaving $85 billion worth of equipment behind. And we wouldn't have had 13 great soldiers. I know the families of those soldiers well. We wouldn't have had these soldiers killed, and we wouldn't have had 45 soldiers obliterated. No legs, no arms, the face. None of that would have happened. And you wouldn't have had inflation. You wouldn't have had any inflation because inflation was caused by their bad energy problems. Now they've gone back to the Trump thing because they need the votes. I don't know if you know, they're drilling now because they had to go back because gasoline was going up to $7, $8, $9 a barrel. So they said, we better do what Trump. But the day after the election, if they won, you're going to have fuel prices go through the roof. Everybody's going to be forced to buy an electric car, which they're not going to do because they don't want that. It's got a great market. It's got a market. It's really a sub-market. People want gasoline-propelled cars. They want hybrids. They want to have everything, and they want electric. But they want everybody to have an electric car. We don't have enough electricity. We couldn't make enough electricity for that.
Yep. That has been kind of my theory, since I've been predicting that they're going to try and assassinate Donald Trump, which I did, last year, was that basically they're going to try and assassinate Donald Trump, and then they're basically going to martyr him. They're going to basically make him the America's Jesus, basically, right? Like, he died for what he believed in this country, and in order to honor his sacrifice and yada yada yada, and put an end to political violence and to political polarization, we're going to implement all of this. We're going to build the wall, and we're going to drill baby drill, and we're going to they were going to use it to try and take all of Donald Trump's policy positions because of the fact that they have gotten so ideologically polarized, and basically they've turned Trump into such a boogeyman that it doesn't matter what Donald Trump says. Donald Trump can say that, maybe we should increase domestic production, and they would say no, we need to increase our imports, we need to run an import deficit, right? It's basically, it doesn't matter. Donald Trump can say the sky is blue, and they'll say no, actually it doesn't matter. Donald Trump could say, we should feed the homeless, and they'll say, oh no, we need to feed the illegal immigrants instead. It doesn't matter. They anything that Donald Trump says, they will say the complete opposite. And they know that the things that Donald Trump wants to implement policy wise would be effective, and so they need to get rid of them. And then basically they're just going to, the dude wasn't supposed to miss, right? The would-be Trump assassination, he wasn't supposed to miss. That was supposed to actually take place. I'm sure all of the newscasters, all of the Democrat politicians and stuff, everybody already had all of their speeches written and everything about how we need to condemn political violence, and this isn't the country that this is the America that we know, and blah blah blah. They already had all their speeches already set up, and basically that was what their plan was. That was how they're going to reunite the country. That's how they were gonna put an end to all of this, which of course has been implemented by them and the media, the fake news media, all these commie authoritarian dictators have basically been the ones that have been responsible for all of this. And it's really just because Donald Trump's getting in there and threatening to expose them, threatening to break their toys, right? Threatening to basically expose the truth of who these people are, right? Of who our government actually is. But anyway, let me see if I can close out of this real quick. I might be able to in just a second. Real quick, I just want to let's go ahead and check out some of these UK protests. All right, so you can be arrested in the UK if you retweet this. Please don't retweet it. Right, so of course, the UK too, they're cracking down on social media. right? They're basically sending out the social media police where they're arresting people for their social media posts, especially as it pertains to immigrants, especially of the illegal kind. But see more riots in the UK, and after seeing them arrest people for Facebook posts, I stand with the people. Right. So yeah, the UK is going to erupt into full-out civil war, full-scale civil war. Right. There's no denying that. I mean, this is just going to continue getting worse and worse and worse. This has been going on for days. It seems, and yeah, like I said, the British government is basically saying that they're going to protect the illegal immigrants that are murdering the local citizens, the local children, and the basically the local adult males of the UK have had enough, and they're not going to take it. And yeah, this is what it looks like. And don't think it's just there. This is just where it's happening at the moment. All right. As we've been seeing, as we've been reporting on this channel for the past, couple years, these things happen all over the damn world all the time, especially now in the post-COVID, I guess, reconstruction, whatever you want to call it. It really looks more to me like a planned deconstruction of the current systems. But, during this time, we've seen a lot of stuff very, very similar to this. Of course, not necessarily in terms of immigration and, essentially colonialism. All right. But nevertheless, it's been going on all over the world. Right. So this is coming to a neighborhood near you. So just keep that in mind. T2030 for making Facebook comment that the UK government didn't like. For real, man. The UK is descending into civil war because leftists pushed unregulated open immigration into the once great nation without any protections for their current citizens. UK has fallen. Will patriots win it back? Right, so of course we see all the Aloha snack bar people here with their knives and whatnot. That one's like one of those fucking old school sabers and shit. Old Arabian Nights and shit. Either way, they're out there with their knives and shit like that. Of course, keep in mind, being in public with a knife in the United Kingdom is very, very illegal, unless you're not a citizen of that country and you're there illegally and there's no documentation for you, and the government happens to be trying to virtue signal during that particular time, in which case then it's totally fine for you to be out there in the streets waving knives around in an angry mob style, yelling out Aloha snack bar, trying to defend another Aloha snack bar person that murdered some little girls. Right, so yep, welcome to the Western world, guys. So, Met Police Commissioner Mark Rowley threatens to extradite and imprison American citizens over online posts. He does not rule out Elon Musk. Fucking ridiculous. Let's see. Readers added context they thought they might want to know. Contrary to the commissioner's words, the UK cannot see extradition of a U.S. citizen unless the alleged crime is a crime in both countries. Obviously, all right. The Supreme Court has repeatedly held that the First Amendment's free speech protections include protection of hate speech. Let's just
being a
listen for a
keyboard
second.
warrior does not make you safe from the law. You can be. We will throw the full force of the law at people, and whether you're in this country committing crimes on the streets or committing crimes from further afield online, we will come after you.
Talk to me about that, because we've seen some high-profile figures whipping up the hatred. You talked about it in there with the officers, in fact, about this being added to by online commentary. I mean, I'm even thinking of the likes of Elon Musk getting involved. What are you considering when it comes to dealing with people who are whipping up this kind of behavior from behind a keyboard, maybe in a different country?
Oh, I tell you what they're gonna do. They're gonna why I never. Yeah, go fuck yourself, limey bastards. You ain't gonna do a goddamn thing. You ain't gonna extradite nobody. Ain't nobody gonna fucking get extradited over to the United Kingdom for fucking so-called hate speech for getting someone's knickers in a bunch, right? Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Being a keyboard warrior does not make you safe from the law. You can be guilty of offences of incitement, of stirring up racial hatred. There are numerous terrorist offences regarding the sort of publishing of material. All of those offences are in play if people are provoking hatred and violence on the streets, and we'll come after those individuals just as we will physically confront on the streets the thugs and the obs who are causing the problems for community.
Unless, of course, you are a foreign citizen and you're coming to the local people and inciting them to violence, right? If your culture not intermixing with the local culture is inciting the local culture to violence, then no, that's on the local culture. That's their problem, right? But then again, if the local culture were to try and incite other people into into getting angry, well, then it's on the local people as well. Like, do you see the ridiculousness of all this? It's entirely just governments trying to virtue signal and basically trying to I guess they're trying to label everything as extreme right? Everything in today's world is Hitler. Everything I don't like is Hitler, right? So that's what we have going on in the UK, and it's absolutely ridiculous. They're going to try and make it over here to the United States of America, right? Go fuck yourself. See, wow, this is insane. Just imagine this coming to America. London City, Westminster protests. These are the far-right protesters we keep hearing about all over the media, from UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Americans buy guns and ammo if Kamala Harris wins. This is our future. If anybody ever asks you why you need 30-round magazines, there you go. There's your reason right there. See, may Allah curse the kafir, infidels. Right? Fuck off. See, Muslims all across Britain no longer feel safe, and it's not just because of the far right. This Islamophobia has nurtured and made mainstream. Hey, Islamophobia, this is what the fuck you guys are doing. Right? These people, keep in mind, are trying to claim political asylum. Right? These people are saying that their government in their home country is persecuting them. Do these people look like they don't fit in back where they're from? These people look like they don't fit in with the other Aloha snack bar people? Absolutely not. These people are not asylum seekers. These people are foreign invaders, right? These people are foreign invaders. Don't try and let people, sweet talk you into thinking it's anything different. These people are foreign invaders, and they are invading your country. That's what's happening, right? Again, they start out slightly docile, and then next thing you know, they're stabbing here, stabbing there. Next thing you know, they're out there roaming the fucking streets with the pitchforks and axes, because they're fucking Stone Age cavemen fucking people. Fucking brow protrudes like this, right? But either way, these people are foreign invaders, and they're trying to take over your country. This is colonization, right? And I don't even think it's right to call it colonization. This isn't colonization. This is actual invasion. This is a violent takeover. See, right-wingers are now planting decoy protests in the UK, and when the police arrive, the only people they find are armed Islamist mobs who mobilize to attack fake protests. All right. But yes, it's the right that is the violent extremists, right? It's the conservatives, it's the local communities that are the violent extremists for trying to keep these people out of their communities, right? I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. I ain't gonna try and like, oh, like these people from assimilated. Like, no, fuck that. Kick these people the fuck out of your community. Kick these people out of your fucking country. All right. No, people don't got to put up with this shit. This is absolutely ridiculous. This, like I said, this is not, this is not asylum seeking. This is a foreign invasion. These people are not fleeing their country from persecution. These people are here on a mission. These people are here on a mission from their fucking, Antichrist, fucking Satan, prophet, God, fucking Mohammed, right? These people are on a mission. These people are not running from the political violence of their government. These people are on a mission of violence. These people are here to spread evil. But yeah, anyway, full of Joe Biden. Anyway, all right, real quick, let's just go ahead and touch on the Imani Khalif, the Algerian dude, fighting the women over there in Algeria in the Olympics. So basically, that thing won the fucking gold medal. Obviously, who could have fucking saw that coming? I don't know. Shit, nobody, right? We're not going to show any of the fight videos and stuff like that because, quite frankly, I don't find anything entertaining about it. All right, it's quite literally disgusting. I see it no different as watching a guy beating his wife at a fucking restaurant or on the streets or something like that, right? Again, even when it comes down to just like women's UFC or women's boxing and stuff like that, I don't know why people find that to be like, oh, like it's so whatever, there's nothing attractive at all about women being brutish and fighting and stuff like that. That's not a feminine thing, right? I mean, do women enjoy watching men's baking contests or something like that? I don't know. To be honest, they probably do. But I mean, I don't understand that either. And any woman that thinks that's like, oh, something so attractive. Look at it, how he creams that brulee. That dude's fucking weirdo, right? That guy's got a little sugar in the tank. But anywho, yeah. So obviously nobody was fucking betting against that person. The betting odds were astronomical, right? If you bet on this person and they won, you probably owed the other person money, right? That's how astronomical they were, right? It was, I mean, honestly, it was something like like you bet $1, you win a fucking penny or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, everybody knew that this person was going to win. It's a dude. It's a dude in drag, just going in basically saying, "Oh yes, I am woman. I do boxing now." Like it's a fucking dude, all right? But yeah, we'll see how it ends up going. I doubt that the Olympics is going to actually do anything about it. I think, like I said, I think this entire civilization, again, the Olympics has been something that's been going on for fucking thousands of years. Like that's not like just a new thing. That's not like the Super Bowl, anything like that. That's not like the World Series. I mean, the Olympics has been going on for thousands of fucking years, since back in the Greek days and shit, right? So yeah, I think the entire Western civilization that we've grown up in over the last several thousand years is fully collapsing. And I honestly, my mind is not capable of really kind of seeing anything functional outside of that. So I don't know, but we are definitely witnessing the end of an age here, and the Olympics seems to be going with it. But just real quick, like I said, it's election season. GARM is basically, they say, being sued right now by Elon Musk, Rumble. If you guys are not on Rumble, make sure you guys get over to Rumble, subscribe. Screw YouTube. YouTube fucking sucks. Screw advertisers. Advertisers fucking suck. Unless they want to send me money, in which case, fuck it, send me money. I'll promote your bullshit. I'm just kidding. Nobody's gonna send me fucking money. I got like 5 people that fucking watch. But anywho, yeah, we'll go ahead and just cut it short there. I mean, yeah, getting a little bit tired. Was only trying to go for an hour. We did end up watching quite a bit of videos today. It was definitely a good show. Appreciated anybody that stops by, hung out. Appreciate you, Dabu, for of course, dropping by, leaving some comments, joining in the conversation. Anybody else that sees this video, we do this show live every Friday, 10 p.m. Arizona time. Arizona, of course, does not change time zones, so you guys may be changing time zones, but not us here in Arizona. So Friday, 10 o'clock Arizona time. If you're not sure what time it is, look it up on Google, see what time it is in Arizona right now. But 10 o'clock. Yeah, if you guys are not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I appreciate you all. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and as always, fuck off. Thanks for stopping, God. Yeah. You know the fucking thing, man. Peace. And of course, it's not gonna end. Good old fucking Rumble. I just get done telling you guys how much I fucking love Rumble because they're fighting against these advertiser fucking adpocalypse monopolies, and now I can't even get the damn site to work. But anyway, I'll get this refreshed, get the fuck out of here. Appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, share. As always, fuck off.